Hi, my name is Janka Coppens, and I'm Managing Director of Intelligent Process Automation, or IPA, at ATB Financial. ATB is a Crown corporation that provides financial services to over 773,000 clients in Alberta. My role in the IPA team resides in the technology group, and we're all about creating value for our clients and driving financial returns through productivity improvements. We do this by automating non-value-added tasks to free up capacities for our team members and enable consistent and reliable customer experiences. So I love my job at ATB and the people that I work with. The great thing about technology is that it's changing so fast. So much of what our team is doing right now is new and hasn't been done before, which is very exciting. Our team consists of individuals from formal business roles, such as those from the business itself, as well as those from STEM disciplines, and both of these work in developer aspect roles. And we also have technical product leads and leaders to support. So we've evolved from a small team working with RPA to a large team implementing end-to-end business transformation by doing things like integrating vision, language, execution, and thinking and learning capabilities. When it comes to diversity and inclusion, ATB is doing well, but similar to other organizations, we still have a lot of work to do. So leadership understands the current landscape at the organization, which is really good, and the work to be done. In technology, 32% of the team members are women, and 20% of the women are represented in leadership. Specifically in the IPA team, 50% of women represent leadership, which is great, but it seems like the more technical the role, the less female representation. So if we look at our split within the developer role, right now we're standing at 20%. So again, work to be done. In talking to some of our developers, there's a couple of interesting things. So one is when they were in school, there's two of them who actually stated they were one of three, right? And I would say these are younger developers, right? So we're still not getting them into the STEMs when it comes to choosing that as their education path for university level. They said there's a lot of people in, high schools who are interested in starting to play with science and tech and all that kind of stuff. But when it actually comes to making a defined career choice, it hasn't translated yet into the university. And then I think the other aspect is for our team specifically, they're not applying in the same numbers as the male counterparts. So there's research out there that actually shows that women apply for less jobs than males. But the funny thing is, when they do apply, they tend to be more successful. So I can speak firsthand that resonated as true. We had a posting once out for automation analysts, which is RPA developers. We had more males than females apply. We were hiring 8 positions. And even though we had a lot more males apply, we ended up hiring 3 females out of the 8, right? So it wasn't a direct correlation to the number of applications. So organizations need to foster a culture that invites everyone to bring their true self to work. So why promote diversity and inclusion? I would say first and foremost, it's the right thing to do. I don't think we need another reason. But I will also say that research shows that it leads to more successful outcomes and profitability to organizations who embrace it. So companies that are diverse outperform their peers, and inclusive teams make better decisions up to 80% of the time. And there's research backing that, which I find really interesting. So as an organization, what I love about ATB is that it's a strong supporter of increasing STEM diversity in our province. So the fourth industrial revolution is well on its way, and it brings challenges and opportunities with it. And more women in STEM can help shape a positive future for Albertans, which I think is fantastic. One component of our ATB ID, and you can consider an ATB ID like a core trait of team members, is called Champions of Belonging. So it means diversity in all of its forms is a strength. It's about creating a culture that fosters diversity of thought and opinion, which I think is just fantastic as a core capability. Another thing that ATB is doing well is we have really strong team member networks to support inclusion and diversity, and these are supported by executive sponsors. One such group is called Elevate, and Elevate is about elevating women in the workplace. Elevate holds us all accountable to continue to focus on gender equity, and everyone is encouraged to join this group, whether you're a woman, an active ally, and an advocate. The other thing we're doing that's new is spinning up mentorship shadowing programs in the male-dominated area of the business. So this would be technology and risk as an example, so that women can become better represented in these areas in the future by seeing the areas themselves firsthand. It doesn't matter how many diversity policies are in place if it doesn't translate into supporting behaviors. So there are more inclusion initiatives than ever before, yet women in STEM in Canada are still really underrepresented. So leaders need to set the standard of behaviors, ensure their employees are skilled up and trained in this area, and then provide the feedback, including calling out inappropriate behaviors or exclusionary behaviors. So as a group focused on automation, I think we have an extra opportunity here, or an additional opportunity to get it right. So growing automation adoption can either add to diversity challenges or really provide some great opportunities. So at ATB, we have automated hundreds of end-to-end processes. We've reduced thousands of hours of manual work for our team members, but the onus exists to provide development opportunities for team members who are thinking about how they can fit and contribute meaningfully in the future of work. We need to be focused on giving these team members the opportunity to update their skill set to remain future-proof. Many of the new roles being created are higher paying, and they reside in technology, and that's an area that oftentimes women don't raise their hand to transition to. So how do we ensure there's equal opportunity for these transitions? So as women, there's a lot we can do individually that is within our control to help propel ourselves going forward. One thought is, and I think about imposter syndrome. That is a term I didn't hear for a really, really long time. And when I did, I felt better. Research shows that 70% of us have doubted our ability at some point in time, and that's male or female. So this isn't strictly related to the female experience. And I think that's okay, but we can't let it translate into not speaking up when you should and not applying for postings when you should. So we can't let it hold us back. So in my experience, it's not necessarily how you feel, but it's how you present yourself and how you show up. So speak up regardless of who you are. Know that you've earned the right to be there and you've earned your place at the table. We need to embrace our accomplishments and be open to failure. Denise Mann is our Chief Technology Officer, and she tells a story about feeling stalled in her career. She was mid-management for a long time and then losing her job. And by sharing her story and being transparent and vulnerable, you realize that it's okay to fail. It's not the end. And when you're not afraid to fail, that leads to innovative thinking, and that gives you unlimited potential. And that's powerful. Who we surround ourselves with and have in our corner is also really important. I've worked with amazing individuals from the start of my career, which actually started in the male-dominated railway industry. I had incredible role models who excelled at their jobs, garnered respect, and commanded a room. Others who saw something in me and advocated on my behalf. Research tells us that networking and mentorship is huge. We need role models, we need advice, we need confidence, those warm introductions, and we need access to resources. We have to be intentional about it. While I have a great network of friends, mentors, and cheerleaders to advocate for me, I could have been much more intentional in developing this. And we need to create these spaces and places and networks for each other, to trade knowledge and build each other up. The number of women in leadership right now is edging up. And we're seeing more examples of high-profile women in STEM leadership, which is fantastic. And this is going to inspire young girls early who are growing up and watching closely to think that this could be them one day.